The program will generally engage these sectors through a wide range of economic activities.
This is a national policy document that aims to contribute to the industrial transformation of the Gambia from its current stage to one that adds significant value to its products by increasing the competitiveness of industrial enterprises through policy advice, investment, and technology promotion.
The full implementation of the program, however, does not go without some few challenges.
Although the importance of the country program as a key enabler in the Gambian economy may appear obvious, funds for the full implementation of these carefully selected components with their shared synergies have yet to be fully secured. Out of the 5 components, only 2 are currently being implemented, that is the renewable energy and rural development, as well as the quality infrastructure components.
This is one of many initiatives taken by the ministry to promote industrial growth, and with the full participation of key partners, expectation is high that such initiatives can revitalize the country's industrial development. Neiku Mademba, Grts News.
As the rainy season progresses, communities throughout the country are working hard to finish weeding the numerous farms cultivated for the president. In Buyam, the first round of weeding has just been completed on the 3 groundnut, maize and rice farms cultivated for Professor Jame. Modu Jallo recently visited the farms and he now reports.
Of the town of Buyam, community leaders come through their groundnut and corn farms cultivated for President Jame in response to his back to the land call. The people of Buyam feel indebted to President Jame for his numerous development accomplishments in the area.
If you look at it over the years, Buyam, we participate in the president's farming activities. But again, like we go to Kanilai, we go to Borok, we go to Kanfenda or any other farm within the Funis. So this year around they said, why can't we as a village come up with our own farm? And then that is how everything came up. They sat, discussed, we are trying to talk to colleagues, talk to age groups, talk to elders of the community, the imam, and key other people in the community. I was also confronted. They came to me to say, this is the idea we have. We want to come up with a president's farm. And then the entire responsibility of realizing this farm is bestowed on your hands. I said, good. If you have that brilliant idea, then it's a challenge on me. And I can also assure you that at the end of the day, at the end of this harvest this year, we will come up with the president's farm.
Following several meetings, the elders decided to cultivate the farms in Buyam rather than go to Kanilai for cultivation in order to save costs and mobilize more volunteers. Besides the groundnut and corn farms, another 10-hectare rice farm has also been cultivated by the women. The ward councillor of Buyam, Mam Tuti Nyasi, who has been very crucial to the cultivation of the farms, hailed President Jame for inspiring and empowering Gambian women.
Like it's because of President Jame that we are aware, we know that farming can improve somebody, and farming also can change one's life. This is why we sat down and think that yes, we should follow the president's advice, like he is calling the people to go back to the farm for our own use. This is why we initiated. Actually, we have 3 to 4 farms. We have only visited 3.
She also thanked him for donating her tractors, which she said helped the community attain their goals.
We donated 6 tractors to me.
Meanwhile, the community of Buyam are optimistic that they will realize a bumper harvest as initial weeding has been completed on time. Modu Jallo, Grts.
The Young Ambassadors of Disaster Risk Reduction, in collaboration with the National Disaster Management Agency and the National Youth Council, are staging a 2-day training of trainers capacity building forum for young disaster advocates at the agency's head office. The synergy, as Babukar Kamara reports, is meant to equip participants with requisite knowledge and skills to effectively advocate for disaster risk reduction strategies in the school system.
Roundtable advocacy campaign setting a new paradigm in disaster risk reduction, a cause to be championed by young ambassadors in our school system.
This training actually is timely because looking at disaster risk reduction is not one-man business. It's everybody's responsibility. And as young people, we also believe that we are being affected. We are always vulnerable, particularly children and school-going ones. So we also deem it necessary to come and work hand in hand with the National Disaster Management Agency.
The initiative comes hard on the heels following a commitment undertaken by the young ambassadors in disaster risk reduction during a courtesy call to Vice President Jai Sidi on 3rd August 2011. The ambition continues to be reinvigorated by the National Disaster Management Agency through Capacity Building Forum.
Many a times when disasters happen, children are considered as one of the most vulnerable in our society, and therefore targeting them in an appropriate manner and instilling them the skills and competencies in DRR so they can be able to be our agents of change, so that they can be our ambassadors out there and our champions to advocate for DRR within the schools, within their communities.
As ambassadors, if you know really what the word ambassador means, that alone speaks volumes about how much you need to struggle, how much you need to comport yourself, how well you need to behave in society. Because you're talking about disaster risk management here, or disaster risk reduction here. You must have to be ambassadors in that regard.
An estimated 6 million children fall victims of disaster each year. However, efforts of the young ambassadors in disaster risk reduction seek to minimize such occurrences through a massive advocacy campaign in our school system. The two-day synergy aims to equip participants with requisite advocacy knowledge and skills. Babukar Kamara, GRTS.
The Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services, Alhaji Modu Sanyang, on Wednesday toured the premises where the National Broadcaster's new transmission site is located. The facility under construction is part of the second phase of the GRTS satellite project, which provides for the erection of a new mast and the acquisition of new transmitters to boost the terrestrial signals of the National Broadcaster for television and FM radio. Abdunjai reports similar facilities will be constructed at selected sites across the country.
The techniques employed hitherto have been of immense benefits, which in essence phased out analog transmission for a much advanced technology. But the system also caters for the needs of the local people who might need only an internal antenna to receive the signals of the Gambia radio and television services. The system is being perfected under the phase 2 of the satellite project, with a batch of new transmission sites across the country. The first of these sites is located at the Abuko Art Station, which was being visited by the Director General of the Gambia Radio and Television Services, Alhaji Modu Sanyang, together with the Director of Engineering, Bai Sanyang, who is also the project coordinator.
It's not a small feat, it's about $12 million US, so not a small amount. First, we started with the satellite, the fixed satellite station. It started operational in May 2009.
Was this and the associated
just to be on the satellite, to send out signals on satellite so that you can receive our signals wherever you are. And I'm glad to say that we are now in KU band. That means Europeans also can receive our signals. Now this project, this part is the second phase of the project, putting up the transmitters terrestrial. Not many people, all people can afford to buy satellite dish and so on. So we still use this antenna, ordinary antenna, to receive signals. Now, in order to boost the signals along the length of the country, we put up new transmission sites.
That's also to say that you are catering for the effort of the local Gambian.
That's it, because we are constructing satellites in the 6 sites. Transmitters in 6 sites. Abuko, which is the current one we are constructing. We have one in Kudang. It's a new site. Kudang is totally a new site because it's filling up the gap between Bansang and Masakonko. Yeah. And we have one in Basse. Then Kanilai and Masakonko will come later.
They were assessing the progress made on the construction of the new transmission site at Abuko, which will incorporate a mast measuring 100 meters. This component of the project will soon be replicated in several other locations, and each one of them is earmarked to house its own television and FM transmitters to boost the terrestrial signal strength of the national broadcaster. But this is not entirely everything. Electricity is also factored in the project, with generator houses under construction for sustainability purposes.
What is the justification for having these new transmitters in the first place?
Well, first of all, the old ones are obsolete. We don't have spare parts for them anymore. Secondly, the current mast is overloaded. You can see all the GSM operators here are using the mast. So we dare not put other equipment on top of the mast. It's risky. The antennas are coming, which may be more than 1 ton, the weight. So we dare not put it up here again. It's too risky. We just ask the Gambians to be in touch. We are coming. The third phase is coming, which is the production vans. The TVs have a new production van or truck, 6 cameras.
That's the OB van?